we're talking 150 to 200 keys a week. You're making millions of dollars a week. That's an insane amount of money. How old are you now?
About 22, about 20, 21, between 20 and 22.
Where do you keep that kind of money?
In apartments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had apartments all over the city. I had an apartment in the Bronx over there by Yankee Stadium, another one over there on Field Place, another one up there by Whitestone Bridge, you know, by Throgs Neck Projects. You just, you know, you get apartments and that was our bank. You know what I mean? But like I was telling you earlier, I'm not really into the cash. And a lot of, you know, little small-minded people watching this might not understand it. I'm going to break it down so if they rewind the tape on over here to connect, they'll understand. Twice a year, you know, they had what they call inventory. Usually May, June, and then like November, December.
Who's they?
You know what I mean? The Medellin. You know what I mean? The Connect. You know, they had to do inventory. So they had it every 6 months.
Yeah, the Medellin Cartel.
Yes. So they pick their times for their inventory. And it's usually May, June, you know what I mean? And that's when they had the big Dominican parades in Dominican Republic, and all the big boys that made their money, they'll go back while they pulled all the coke off they stopped sending coke to add up everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To see where they at, like inventory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They were kind of taking vacation.
Yes, I used to go to Dominican Republic in like June, where they had the basketball tournaments and things like that, because my partner, from DR, that's how he got here. He played basketball really good, and they brought him over to Texas. I ain't gonna say his name, but they brought him over to Texas to play basketball, and he played basketball over in Texas, and he just walked off one day and took the bus to New York. You know what I mean? And met a black chick up in, you know, Washington Heights, and he was just as black as me, so he blended in. You know what I mean? And, you know, he started doing his thing, but that was my man. That's a whole docu-series with this character, but he was good nigga, good man.
Did you find it difficult when you did have millions of dollars, you know, dotted in apartments throughout the city? Was that hard to sleep? Were you?
Nah, for what?
Well,
I'm the only one with the key. That's why, like, people ask me, did you count your money, how much money you made? No, I know if I put about 80,000 in this apartment or 800,000 in this apartment, that's what's in that apartment. I don't need to go back and count that. All I need to do is take whatever I need out of that to buy what I need to buy. So let's say, you know, I got this gray suit on, got a little blue in the pinstripe. I said, well, let me go get a, you know, gray and blue Mercedes, you know, something so it can match my suit. Then I go down to the, you know, Mercedes dealer or the BMW dealer if I wanted a BMW. And I like BMWs. I hate Mercedes. I hate Mercedes because the police took, you know, $1 million from me driving a Mercedes. And I just gave him the title and everything. All he wanted was a money. I said, man, take the damn car.
So you got jacked by the cops?
Hell yeah. That's how I met them, to be able to pay them off. A week later, they came back and was like, you know what I mean? Look, you know, we got the money. We see that you ain't reported. You ain't gonna try and claim it. Because, see, a lot of things used to happen is dudes used to get caught, like, let's say, going through the airport or driving down the street, and they get caught with 80,000, 100,000 in street money. The police take it, and they'll take it downtown, and they'll put it in their little safe, and they'll keep it amongst themselves is how they worked it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That they have the money, but they waiting to see if the person's gonna claim the money.
Right.
And then you might get your aunt to come in and bring her a tax return to say that was her money and you was driving the money for, and try and get your money back. You have people that do that. So
and the people who did do that, they were the ones that weren't about bribing. They weren't gonna, like, if you came to claim the money, that meant that they couldn't trust you to make payoffs every week.
Exactly. You understand what I'm saying? So being that they took the money, and I said, man, yo, just take the damn title too, you know what I mean? Because they basically, his exact words was, you know, you want to go downtown with this money, or, you know, you want to go home without it. You know what I mean? I said, you want the title too? You know what I mean? And they took the money wherever they took it, and about 2 weeks later, they pulled up on me, saw me driving, pulled me over. They said, yo, you know, thank you, you know, we respect the way you handled it, but I'm letting you know now that, you know, if you need anything, we could hold you down, and, you know, we'll charge you 10 grand a week, you know what I mean? And if one of your boys get locked up, you call us, and we, you know, let you know who you have to pay, you know what I mean, to get him out. So the little 10 grand was like a retainer fee. So then let's say you driving now and you get caught with a pistol. I'll call them up, be like, yo, Johnny got caught with a pistol. They'd be like, what precinct he got caught in? You know what I mean? Such and such. Okay, yeah, I know somebody over there, meaning somebody else that's on the tape they could work with. So they'll call them up and they'll be like, yo, you arrested such and such. Be like, yeah, don't take him downtown. You know, I'm going to come see you. So, you know, if once you go downtown, they put it in the computer, it's like,
It's a wrap by then.
yeah, it's a wrap. Once you go in that computer in Center Street where we was at, you know, so they come and they go see them, and they tell them, look, you know, I'm gonna give you $5,000, you know what I mean, to let that disappear. You know, that's one of my people's workers. You
And was
understand what
there
I'm saying?
ever a problem? Were there ever cops at those precincts that they couldn't pay off, and your people had to stay in
because
jail?
if they ever had a cop they couldn't pay off, I wouldn't pay them no more. I don't
Right.
care who it is. If it's the Pope that arrested them, I'm giving you $10,000 a week to keep my people clean. So if the Pope arrests them, you better flip the Pope. You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna have to find somebody else to get my $10,000 to.
Yeah.
So that means you're a turbo salesman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't trying to hear that crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did they ever let you know? Did they ever prevent you from getting collared? Like, did they ever let you know that a bus was coming
hell
down?
Yeah. Like when they rolled up in the Mecca. They rolled up in the Mecca, ran up in there deep, and you know, I knew they was coming, so I slipped out, went upstairs. I couldn't get out the building, but I went upstairs and I watched the whole thing play out from upstairs. You know, that's when they went in there as far as to, you know, gather evidence that they brought down and used against me in trial, so it's not telling for these little keyboard gangsters that look for anything to try and discredit a man, you know. But
When you say they, the FBI came in, or the DEA.
everybody came in. You know what I mean? They came in and, you know, they took or whatever they had for evidence to show that I was hustling, and they brought it down to Virginia in my trial. But they didn't have nothing to deal with coke in the Mecca, because I didn't sell coke out the Mecca. It was just a weed spot, and a recording studio, and a record shop that had 2 turntables and a mixer in the window, the speakers on the sidewalk. It was a hangout.
Yeah.
But that was just for some place I could hang out
Yeah.
safe. I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
if the police run up in there, you know, anybody getting arrested, or I'm getting arrested, or they're watching me because I'm out there. You understand?
Yeah.
Like, I remember one night, being it's funny you said that about the payoff. Show you how the payoff work. I'm paying this cop $10,000 a week, right? He comes in, another cop comes in and he says, I'm in there that night. You know what I mean? Well, I go there that night after the cop left. It was a homicide detective. He go in there and he's showing pictures to the people in the Mecca, asking if they seen this guy and this and that, and you know, just to not just the workers, but whoever's in there. It was a cop doing his job, a homicide detective. So when the homie said, man, the homicide detective was in here today and they was looking for such and such. So now I called the cop that I'm paying off. I'm saying, yo, why is there police in my establishment when I'm giving you $10,000 a week? You know what I mean? He said, don't worry about it. He'll never be back again. And he never came back again.
And he kind of apologized to you.
Of course he did.
You really had the cops working for you.
They had to get that $10,000 a week. They made like $40,000, $50,000 a month. And that was just even when no one got arrested. If no one got arrested, they still had to get their 10. But if somebody got arrested, it'd be like, y'all need another 5 for this, 15 for that, 20 for that. And you know, and such and that, because I got to pay this one and that one. And we had cases that went down to Center Street that they, you know, got out the computer. That's the way they do it. You know what I mean? But you had to pay more for that. That's when they say, oh, we need $50,000 because we got to pay 5 different people, the stenographer, the court person, you know how the computers are. Now I don't even know what the fucking computer is. You know what I mean? Just take the $50,000 and get my man out of there.
Yeah, and,
you know?
and as far as you know, these cops never went down. Never got arrested or anything like that.
I don't know what happened to them. They ain't getting caught up on my situation.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't say anything.
Because you were giving them on retainer alone $600,000 a year. So they were sorry to see you go.
Oh yeah, they most definitely was. You know what I mean? I've seen a couple since I've been home.
Oh, for real?
You know? Yeah, I've seen a couple.
Are they
since I've been
retired or
home
are they still
and
working?
and doing great.
I'm sure they are.
No, I mean, still doing great 26 years later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, you know, they told me, man, you're a man's man. You know what I mean? And that's when I let them know, you know, no, I'm on man time. You know what I mean? I get caught, I handle my own responsibility. I got caught. I don't need to bring you in. You ain't do nothing to me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
regardless if you did something to me, I have to deal with you with it. I'm not going to go to the police and tell them you did something to me. You know?
Yeah, yeah. So this happened, this went on for 7 years.
And that went on for about 5. I was out there a good 2 years before I met him.
Yeah,
I had a good 2-year run. When I was at my height, that's when I met him.
Right.
Just when I was coming up, you know. And I'm not even gonna front. That million they took at first hurt me. You know what I mean? When they took that at that time, that hurt me. But by now, I done stepped my game up. You know what I mean? So once they came at me and told me $10,000 a week, now I knew I had the green light and I could get that million back plus some. But the object was that if they take the money, I could get more money. If they took me in the money, I don't get nothing and I lose the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's kind of a win-win.
Yeah. You know?
So you're just a millionaire many times over. Young kid, 25,
But
26,
you gotta
27.
look at this one. We don't have banks. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we don't have credit cards, so we just spending cash. You know what I mean? So of course, I bought a house in Charlotte. With me and my brother was at a house in Virginia Beach, house in Newport News, house in Miami. Bought houses, and that's what you do with it. And that's why they have what they call the forfeiture law. And that's why they didn't care nothing about us selling all this drugs in America. Because at the end of the day, we're going to spend it back to infuse the economy. You understand?
Yeah, you had 30 whips.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, that money went right back into the economy.